If you have never touched Fusion 360 before and you want to learn it, this is the video for you. In this video, you will learn how to make this simple desk organizer from scratch in Fusion 360. So let's get started. To start off, you will want to make a new design, and you want to have your designs organized, so you will use this data panel on the top left, and you will create a new project. So I will name this project Fusion 360 Tutorial Design, and once that's ready, I can X out of here, save this file, let's say Fusion 360 Design, and I can go down to the drop down menu and do Fusion 360 Tutorial Design and just click enter, and now it is saved and in that file. So in that way you can organize your files. So to get started, you will want to create a 2D sketch. Now in Fusion, you start a 2D sketch up here with this little icon, create sketch, and we will start on this plane here. You have 3 planes to select from, and we will start with the phone stand right here in the center. So we will start with this plane. Now the menu changed on the top, and this is the sketch menu, so we will start with a line. Now a line just place down here in the center by clicking or left clicking, and I will type in the value, which is going to be 5 inches here and 60 degrees, and then I just press enter. So I have my first line set, and now I will click the line again and go straight from here and create a 0.5 inch line at a 150 degree angle. And actually you don't even have to click the line here, because all you have to do is click L on your keyboard and it will pull up the line. It's a little cool shortcut. Then I will go 0.5 from here and left click, and now I want to have this line in a place where it will be in line with this point. So all I have to do is hover over this point and go down. You can see this blue dotted line forming, and once I go down here you can see that it is perfectly in line with this point. Oops, I made a mistake there. And now you can just go from here all the way up here, and you have a perfect 90 degree angle. So now that we have the 2D sketch ready, we can click on Finish Sketch. And so you can move your design right here in the cube on the top right corner. You can just kind of rotate it around, see what you're working with. Click Home to go back to the original view. And now we want to change this 2D design into a 3D body. So what we will do is we will go to Extrude here, or you can just press E on your keyboard. And the plane is auto-selected because it's the only plane in our design. And now we will extrude this. So let's say 3.5 inches. And all that does is it just creates infinite sketches to make the body. And so there we go. We have a basic shape of the phone stand ready. And now we want to create this thing on the left, which is like a pencil, pen holder, maybe scissors. So you will make another sketch, and now instead of choosing from these planes, you will want to choose the plane right here on the bottom of the body that already exists. And that is because now if we take a line, we can actually snap it into place. You can see here that if you have the little blue square, that means that it is snapped into place in the corner. So that's a very useful thing. And we can actually rotate it and just click top And I like this top view better because it is more intuitive and it doesn't really change much. So we will start placing the point here, right on the edge. And I will go 1.5 inches off. And I will make another line here, which is also going to be 1.5 inches off. And now, to make this little arc here, we will go to the drop down and create, and then go to arc and 3-point arc. So to create a 3-point arc, you actually need a midpoint between these 2 points. And that will be very hard to get with the grid because, as you can see, this point isn't really on the grid. So we will create another line in between these 2 points. And now what you can see is if we hover right around the center, at one point you will see a blue triangle. That blue triangle means that we are at the center of that line. So now we can escape to get out of that line we were creating. Go back to create, arc, 3-point arc. And you will first select your 2 base points, which will be this and this. And now we can go back here to that center. And from here we can move outwards. You can see the blue line, blue dotted line. That means that we are still in line with the center point. And you will move out until you see those blue circles on the edges, on the corners. And that means that it is a perfect half circle. So you will left click, and now you have that you have the left side of that circle. So now you will finish the sketch, and you can actually just go here and right click on this line and delete it because we will not need it anymore. So now you have this sketch along with the body for the phone holder, and you want to extrude this again. And the only downside of creating sketches like this, where we are doing it on the top instead of on the bottom where it first sent us, is that now when we extrude, we will have to extrude in a negative direction. So you can either just type in a negative value like -1 and it will work perfectly fine, or you can actually just go to direction here and go 2 sides, or sorry, 1 side, and oh, actually you can't. Well, my bad. We will just use negative. And for this, you will use -4.5 because it is close enough to this, and this edge will actually be rounded off in the end. That's something I'll show you in the end. And you just place that body there, either OK or enter, and that's it. Now, this is a solid body. We want to hollow it out, and how we do that is we will go to shell right here up top, and we will click this face, this top face. And now what shell does is it essentially just hollows out the body that you select. And so let's say that we want our edges to be 0.2 inches thick, so we will just type in 0.2 inch. And as you can see, it just hollows out that body. So okay. And that's, now we already have the phone stand and the pencil pen holder. So now we will create this thing on the right. And this can be for anything. This can be for erasers, this can be for business cards, really anything you decide to put there. So to start off, we will want to create another sketch, and you will click the face on the bottom again, and I will move it like this back to the top, and I will now use a rectangle, which you can also see here, or you can just press R on your keyboard, and you will go here, and you want to first hover over this corner and see that the blue dotted line is forming, and we will make this, say, 3 inches. Okay, so now that that's done, you will want to create a line, and the purpose of this line is to mark off 0.2 inches away from the edge. Now you cannot see this line right now, but that's okay, because now we will create another rectangle, and you will go over here and get to this line, which you can see indicated by the triangle, and then hover over the end of this line. Now that I go back here, you can see indicated by the dotted lines that you were in line with the lines you just made for the offset. So now you will want to go here to this edge, and right on the top the value is 2.9 inches, so we want 0.2 away from the edge, so 2.7. And now when you click tab, that value is actually locked in, so wherever you move your mouse, that will stay at 2.7 inches. And now we want to change this value right here on the right, the height, and that is a very awkward value, but all we have to do is just change the 8 to a 6 to subtract 0.2 inches, and that's it. Oh, actually, I don't think this is 0.2 inches. I must have made a mistake. So, what mistake did I make? 0.2 inches? Oh, I must have typed in... Oh, okay. So actually I did make a pretty big mistake here. The triangle shows the center of the line, and I meant to go here. So I actually just did 0.1 inches. Well, that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. So now you go back here, and 2.8 minus 0.2 is 2.6, and this, all you have to do, subtract 0.2 and press enter. So now you have your inner square. Now, as you can see here, we want two compartments, so you will make a line here, and you want to split this into two, but you want a 0.2 inch wall in between to separate them. So what you can do is you can find this distance, which is 2.533 inches, and you will subtract first the 0.2 inches that you want for the wall, and once you have that done, you can actually just write divided by 2, and Fusion will automatically calculate that for you. So now you make another line, and you go off of this, the 0.2 inches that you want for the wall, tab, snap that into place, set the angle, and now just for good measure you can make this extra line, which is 1.167 inches, just like this line. And our last step will be to separate these two. Go on this line, go to the left right here, put that there, and then make this line here and put that there. So now we have these two little rectangles that will be each compartment. And what we also want to do is make a line through here, and you will see what that is for a little later. Okay, so your sketch is complete, so now you can just click finish sketch, and now we will start extruding. So to extrude, you press on extrude or press E, it doesn't matter, and we'll start off with this one. I will extrude this, and again negative because we drew the sketch weird, but that's okay. And I will do -2 because, oh sorry, -0.2, because that's how thick all of our walls and edges are. And as you can see, the sketch actually disappeared now, and that's normal, and you can fix that very easily by just going over here and go to the sketches drop down and click on the most recent sketch, and you just click the little eye here, and that reveals the sketch again. You can hide it. You can actually hide the whole thing. And now we will extrude this little snippet here. So we can press E and then select this face. And let's say we want it to be 1/2 inch. But that's 1/2 inch of the sketch, and because the bottom is 0.2 inches, we're gonna go -0.7 and enter. So that's our side here. And then we will extrude the second platform. And I don't have a specific value for this, it doesn't really matter for this design. So I will just kind of drag the arrow until it looks good. -2.5 looks good. So just press OK. And go back to home view. Okay, so now we will make this platform right here, this wall. So click extrude, go right over here. And since this is 2.5 inches off the ground, we will make it -3. And now all that is left to do is highlight the perimeter, extrude the perimeter, and we will go the same height as this little pencil holder. So we will go about -4.5 inches. Again, it's negative because we drew the sketch weird, but that's okay. So now you actually have the general design for this, but it doesn't look great. Definitely doesn't look even close to this. So now, oh, actually you can hide that little sketch now. So now we will round off the edges. As you can see here, the edges are nice and round. So you will use this cool little feature called the fillet right over here. And actually, if you can't find the fillet, you can just search for it. Or if you can't find anything, you can just press S on your keyboard and it will reveal this design shortcuts search bar, and you can search for anything. So you can just search for fillet right there, select that, and you can select any edge, any line, and you can input a value. So let's say 0.1 inches. That rounds off the edge really nicely. Actually, we can do even less, like 0.05, but let's do 0.1. That looks nicer. And okay, and that's really all that fillet does. It rounds off edges, doesn't make them sharp. So we can actually round off this whole side so that you can fit your fingers, because this is supposed to be for little tiny items. So you can select these two lines and say, we can go crazy here. We can say like 2 inches or even more, 2.5. So those are nice and round. You can press enter, and then let's do all the other edges just so it's not sharp. You can select this, you can select this. This is also sharp. This, because why not? Really anything you want. And then just like a small value, like 0.1 inches. And now we press enter, and now everything is rounded off pretty nicely. There are a couple of sharp edges, but those are fine. And yeah, this is the general shape for the desktop organizer. But we can go a bit further and actually change the appearance of it. So we can change the color and change the material of this. So what you can do is use the shortcut we've used before. Just press S on your keyboard and you will search for appearance. And you will click on appearance, and you can just select everything here. And you'll go down in the library and you can choose literally anything you want. You can have concrete, you can have fabric, you can have glass. I will choose wood for now, and mahogany glossy looks really good, so I will just download that. And all you really have to do is take it and drop it down here. And now this is a secondary material, so you will want to take it and drop it down on the steel, which is the current material. And that's it. There's a warning here, but it does not affect anything. So now we can just close it or use this arrow to narrow it down so that we can bring it back later if we need it. And there it is. That is your desk organizer made from scratch in Fusion 360. If you found this video useful, consider liking because it helps. And yeah,